Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to the Autonomist Lounge. We've heard of intersectionality, the overlapping of social identities and related systems of oppression, where politics can be formed based on social and cultural categories such as gender, race, class, ability, sexual orientation, nationality, and other seemingly sectarian axes of identity. But what about disintersectionality? It's when you can be a woman who is also a lesbian, who is in a relationship with a woman of color, but said woman espouses white supremacist beliefs. One who believes that black people have black privilege because we choose not to have the word nigger used around us by non-black people, and that black privilege exists because there are black universities and hair care products. In other words, as a woman under patriarchy and a lesbian under a society that is still homophobic, and as a woman in an interracial relationship, you espouse the politics that can easily be found on the white supremacist web portal known as Stormfront, or at least a KKK blog. But the disintersectionality doesn't stop there. What if the racist lesbian was confronted by mostly black males, yet their way of confronting her are misogynist attacks, calling her a bitch, a cunt, and further sexually harassing her by asking her to see her tits? Well, this reactionary shit show of a circular firing squad by these fun-loving lumpen proletariats can be found on none other than Slapper Don's Bus Stop Hangouts. This particular episode was aired this past Sunday. The link is in the low bar. Now, a few notes on the players in this video. Alexandria is the woman that I spoke of earlier in the hypothetical. She is, from what I know, a Tommy Sotomayor fan, or at least has appeared on Tommy Sotomayor's Hangouts recently, where she was originally confronted about her use of the word nigger. She appears on this episode of The Bus Stop some 3 hours later in this particular episode of what is a 7-hour-long hangout. V-Dub is another YouTuber who is a Sotomayor fan and appears frequently on The Bus Stop. He also believes that he is part of Slappa's crew. Before Alexandria revealed on this show that she is gay and is in an interracial relationship with a black woman, V-Dub spent most of the earlier part of Alex's appearance asking about her breasts. He later explains on Draws and Black's Hangout on Monday, I believe, that his sexual harassment of Alexandria was his way of responding to her use of the word nigger on previous hangouts. He also seemed to want to create this premise that talking about race and racist words with white people is something that is not done in New York, where V-Dub is from. I find that strange since I live in the same city, and in my circles, someone like Alexandria and quite frankly V-Dub would not be tolerated for more than 5 seconds, let alone 2.5 hours of grinning, cheesing, and flirting with a racist. So apparently V-Dub and I live in 2 New Yorks. Big J XXX. It's funny how Big J's taking Alexandria to task on her use of the N-word changed dramatically from the earlier part of the hangout when she first appeared versus his conduct later. You will see what I'm talking about. Big J, like V-Dub, does this weird hate flirting thing with Alexandria. Need I point out the opiate-like effect that plays on the neo-colonized people of color when sex and race and racism enter into the picture? But later, when Black Architect comes in to counter the thirst fest between these men and Alexandria, Big J decides to go hard at Alexandria. The problem is, however, that Big J does this all wrong. He calls her a bitch. He calls her a cunt repeatedly, which in and of itself is not confronting racism. You see, Big J, countering reactionary backwards pieces of shits by acting like a reactionary piece of shit is no way to go through life, my son. And finally, there was YouTube troll Captain Picard, a permanent fixture on Slappa's mantle. And by fixture, I mean if there were a sculpture of a turd on Slappa's mantle. This man is a friend and, as rumored, possibly a contributor to Tommy Sotomayor, has appeared on the bus stop many times and has said racist things in the past, yet he is a quote-unquote friend or fellow crew member of the bus stop with V-Dub. I hate that this dude has the name Captain Picard. Captain Picard of Star Trek Enterprise is a humanitarian who would not go out of his way to exercise his absolutist quote-unquote right of free speech by using racist or sexist language. Captain Picard also would not ask to see a lesbian show upon learning that a woman that he's talking to is gay and has a partner. What you will be witnessing in the clips is exactly what we on the left spectrum of YouTube have been suspecting of late. That YouTube wants an environment of soulless, vapid entertainment colored with backwards-ass right-wing politics as a subculture. This crew is not unique. If anything, they represent the majority of what is YouTube's growing mainstream. So from black patriarchs to women-hating pro-blacks, white male dregs, escapists opiated on bullshit entertainment, these are YouTube's favorite sons and daughters to help us and each other to distract from our real lives, brought to you by AdSense. So without further ado, I present to you Disintersectionality Theater.
I'm sorry, was you smoking this?
I got a question. You said, you know, I got big titties or whatever, but you can't do it because there might be a clause in the contract. You got to have black chicks. So what about mixed chicks? Does that work?
Mixed with what?
Like black and white, because I got one for you if you want one.
Nah, I'll be all right.
I got a black chick right here, my wife. She got a big ass, big titties.
No, show me the videotape. Well, you can tell her I'm 100% nigga.
You 100% nigga?
100% nigga.
Oh,
okay. Somebody nigga and shit.
Man, I'm sorry. I let it slip.
I'm just saying. You know,
when I use the word, I'm
go back to Africa.
Like homie, dude, friend. Like my homie.
Can we not have this stupid ass discussion again? Because you know what's gonna happen tomorrow. Niggas gonna come on here and call each other niggas, and it ain't gonna be a problem. Listen, speak how you speak. I just don't get out of control with your shit. If you say something going high proportion,
people are offended with me saying Nigga, then I'm not gonna say it because I say it in real life. But I'm not gonna say something that bothers people just to bother them. If it bothers people, I'm not gonna say it because I don't just try to disrespect people. I really don't.
That's not fun. Alex, where's the half breed at?
She's over here brushing her nappy ass motherfucking hair so she can get on camera.
I said, how do your girl feel when you go around saying nigger and shit, and you fucking your black girlfriend?
Like, how does she feel with the fact that I use the word nigga?
Mm-hmm.
Baby, how do you feel about me saying nigga?
It's mixed.
I love how I said it twice earlier, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to say it because I don't just want to be offending people. Like, I'm not trying to offend nobody. But then the conversation keeps coming up to where, like, I got to say it because I'm not about to sit here and spell it like a 3-year-old. And they're like, why is she saying it? Because it's being brought up. Are you ready, boo?
Are you going to eat each other out?
I'm ready. I'm ready for shit to happen.
How did you expect to be a man in a relationship when you're not a man?
So she has 3 black children?
No, I mean serious, because like we got a lesbo dyke coming on to a majority black sector and calling people nigga. This is an interesting hangout for me.
Question. I said, there you go, being ignorant because
No,
you
I
don't
said,
know
what was your original question the other night?
Okay.
I don't understand what was you didn't understand?
My question was, I said, white people are told they can't say certain words and they can't do certain things, and then people talk about white privilege. Do you guys realize that there is black privilege as well? Black people get away with things that white people can't get away with.
Like
that
what?
is what I asked.
Okay, so
Like what?
let me hop in. Real quick. Is black privilege us being able to hold you down or hold you accountable for saying 3, 4, 5 words and doing whatever, as opposed to
man, son, she said
black privilege.
that we have our own. She said we have our own hair products. That's racist.
It say 100% black owned, made by blacks for blacks. But if there was a product that said 100% white owned, made by whites for whites, it would be boycotted.
We don't need that. We have pictures
there are
on
not colleges that are only for white people, but there are colleges where only black people can go there. Black privilege.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's the bullshit.
Look, I just love other white people. They would be called racist. They would be the KKK. That is black privilege. Would you like more examples? Would you?
Yes, sir. Come on, Arch.
Wait, no. Look, she's sitting here talking about the fact that there are these historically black colleges that don't let white people in. There are white people in historically black colleges. As a matter of fact, it's called historically black college. It doesn't mean it's for blacks only. And those schools were only created because they were not accepted into historically white colleges. So that's the only reason those schools exist. Now you're talking black privilege. Did you ever define what that privilege was that we have?
Yeah, I used a bunch of different examples.
What, the right to say what? The right to say the N-word. Is that's all right?
No.
And then wait. You brought up
Al Sharpton, different products that say they are made by black people for black people, like only black people can work for them and only black people should buy their products. What else did I bring up?
Wait, so you're telling me that white people want to use black hair products?
Oh my God. No, that's not what I'm saying. I am saying.
I mean, I'm just bringing that up because wait, you brought up FUBU, right? Because it says for us, by us. But what is Calvin Klein? What is Ralph Lauren? What is Polo? What are all these other companies? Was that really made for us? Because I believe Tommy Hilfiger said that wasn't even meant for us to even wear. Plain and simple. You were over there on the Soda Your Dig and they checked you on the same thing. So then you thought it was cool to come over here and start speaking that bullshit over here. Everywhere you go, people don't like you, Alex, and you wonder why, because you don't have any respect for fucking anybody.
As I said earlier, though, when I use the word, to me, I use it as homie, friend, dude, bro. That's how I use it. So the definition as it was defined 15 years ago, that's not how I use it or how I've ever used it.
Aware of the racial climate that's going on right now in America?
The racial what?
Climate, like what is really popping off throughout the whole U.S. Are you aware of it?
What do you mean? Like in what way?
Oh my God!
Yeah, the tension.
Like Black Lives Matter and police brutality, which police brutality happens.
The tension, all of it. Yeah. Are you aware? Yeah. Are you fully aware?
I feel quite aware.
Seriously, nobody in the chat does either.
What was the point that didn't get finished?
You brought up this history. My ancestors were enslaved before Africans and all that shit. That happened in your ancestors' country, which they kept, which they still have their names, they still have their buildings, they still have their government, they still have every aspect that they may have lost by the Moors. How is that comparable to what happened to blacks in America? Explain that to me. How can you even compare the two, since you're so intellectually versed in history?
Okay, how can I compare the two? Because when the Moors came over to Sicily and Italy,
No. Let her finish her point.
When they came over to a country that was doing what it was doing, and they just took shit over and controlled shit, and women had babies that they didn't want to have. Things just happened.
And
People
you guys
didn't have a choice.
still
People were
have
over.
your
when
country.
It comes to African slavery in America, people were sold and then they were brought over. So the difference is that Sicilians and Southern Italians, they weren't fine with it. They didn't want it to happen. It just happened.
Oh,
whereas
of course.
In Africa, people were sold and the Africans agreed to sell people. We didn't have a right for what happened to us.
We raped the women, is what you're saying.
Africans chose to
We
sell
raped
people.
the women. We raped the women.
Africans chose to? Whoa!
Did they not?
Am I the only one hearing
Did
it?
they not choose to sell other people to Americans? I'm just saying, at the end of the day, my ancestors have had people come and conquer their land and take them over. And Americans went and bought slaves and did African people wrong. But no one in my family ever did that. So why am I held accountable for slavery?
Wait, hold on. Wait, can I make a point real quick? Because I've been listening for a while. You keep bringing up the fact that your ancestors have been enslaved, Africans have been enslaved. Do you realize damn near every civilization they enslaved at some point? So your point is mute.
No, my point is people are saying I shouldn't be able to say anything I want to say because of the color of my skin, but because of my bloodline, because of my background, my people have been enslaved by black people.
Ask you a question, Alex.
Go ahead.
I just want to hear you keep talking. You should ask her like 20 questions back to back. Make them long.
I've got 20 questions. Were your ancestors ever enslaved? Was it chattel slavery?
What? Okay, were they ever enslaved? What?
Chattel slavery. Chattel.
I don't know what shadow slavery is.
Exactly.
Were they in chains?
Surprise.
Below the decks? Were they taken from their homes, ripped from their homes, chained in ships? Did that ever happen?
I don't know. I don't think they had cameras back then or video, and I wasn't there. I'm in a hangout with black people. I'm being told that like my opinion doesn't matter.
No, bitch. Answer the goddamn question, bitch.
Okay, and that's what I'm talking about right there. I'm not gonna deal with it anymore. I won't do it. Have fun talking about me for hours.
Because in your heart, you know that I'm right.
Mission accomplished.
That's why you let.
That was fun.